Welcome into NFL Daily. I'm your host, Jack Sperry, and on today's show, we're going to be reacting to ESPN NFL Insider Adam Schefter's latest NFL draft intel that he dropped on the ESPN website earlier today. ESPN Plus makes you pay $11 for this content. We think that's ridiculous here at Chat Sports, so we're giving it to you 100% free today. So make sure you click that subscribe button right now for the best damn NFL draft coverage money can buy, 100% free right here at Chat Sports. We're going to be doing live coverage of every single pick, all 7 rounds, all 3 days of the 2024 NFL Draft. So if you want to join myself and Tom Downey as well as a bunch of others here on our coverage of the NFL Draft this year, make sure you click that subscribe button right now. Turn on your notifications so you know whenever we go live. So let's start with the first tidbit here from Adam Schefter, which is that the Atlanta Falcons and the Philadelphia Eagles might be getting tampering penalties that could come down as early as this week. Now, if you remember, the Eagles had a tampering penalty last year for the Jonathan Gannon situation. This year, apparently, they tampered in their pursuit of running back Saquon Barkley. Now, but the big one, the big kahuna here is the Atlanta Falcons, who apparently tampered to acquire Kirk Cousins in free agency this year. And people are expecting that one is going to be upwards of a first-round pick, could be even this year. So right now, the Atlanta Falcons hold the number 8 overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. And if this decision comes down by draft night, it's very possible that the Atlanta Falcons do not have a first-round pick by the time Thursday comes around. Phillies is expected to be lesser, probably a third-round pick, fourth-round pick, somewhere along that lines. Last year, it was a third-round pick that they ended up getting stripped. Then the next tidbit here from Adam Schefter is that Jayden Daniels is likely going to be the pick for the Washington Commanders at number 2 overall. Now, Daniels and his agent and all these different factors here have been kind of warring with the Washington Commanders here over the last 5 days because of a bit of a misunderstanding as to what his official draft visit would look like. The Commanders brought in a bunch of prospects, whereas the Daniels camp thought that it was going to be a one-on-one type of visit where he'd get more face time with the Commanders brass. Well, this is what Schefter had to say about the latest on the Heisman Trophy winner heading to Washington. Heisman Trophy winning quarterback Jayden Daniels out of LSU knows he's entering the draft, not free agency, which is why he is ready to accept wherever he is selected and attempt to become the face of that franchise. While Daniels would have liked more face time with Commanders officials during his visit last week, which included 3 of the other top quarterbacks in this class, the signs continue to point to Washington taking him at number 2 overall. The Commanders have been highly impressed with Daniels' abilities, and they are not alone. One NFL head coach whose team is not in the quarterback market said he would take Daniels over Caleb Williams from USC. Quote, "It's a no-brainer to me," unquote, the coach said. Quote, "Jaden looks like the best guy in this draft," unquote. Another head coach compared Daniels to Baltimore quarterback Lamar Jackson. Quote, "If you pick Daniels, you're getting Lamar 2.0, but he's further along as a passer than Lamar was when he came out," unquote, the coach said. Now, when it comes to Jayden Daniels, I think that he is the right pick for the Washington Commanders. Now, does he probably want to go play for the Minnesota Vikings or the Las Vegas Raiders? Probably. Yeah, they got a better infrastructure in place in both of those spots, and he definitely has the connections to Las Vegas as well. I know a lot of Raiders fans are hoping Daniels is available for the Raiders to trade up for, but I'm sorry, Raiders fans, it looks like the Commanders are going to be sticking at number 2, and the pick is going to be Jayden Daniels. Then we'll go to the team that has the number 2 pick, to the team that has the number 3 pick in the New England Patriots, where Schefter says it's possible that the Patriots are going to trade down with a team like, say, the Minnesota Vikings, who could offer them 3 first-round picks over the next 2 years, including 2 this year, then trade back up to take the quarterback of their choosing, whether that be Drake May, J.J. McCarthy, or Michael Penix Jr., all of which have been linked to the New England Patriots over the last week. Then we'll go to Bo Nix here, who don't really hear a lot of ties with Bo Nix among these teams. You hear some rumblings about Denver, but they just picked up Zach Wilson. Are they really going to be taking a Bo Nix at number 12? And in my opinion, that'd be a reach. But the team that really has the ties, according to Schefter, to Nix at this point is Sean McVay and the Los Angeles Rams. Now, remember, the Rams have Matthew Stafford, who is getting older. They took Stetson Bennett out of Georgia last year. But Bo Nix is the type of guy that, these McVay guys kind of like. He's good in the pocket. He's good pre-snap. He can get outside the pocket and make some plays off schedule if needed. But he's somebody that delivers an accurate football. He gets the ball where it needs to go. And when you have a great offensive mind like Sean McVay, that makes sense in terms of a fit. So watch out for Bo Nix, maybe a second-round pick to the Los Angeles Rams. Now, coming up here, I got more intel from ESPN's Adam Schefter. But before I get into that, I want to tell you about today's sponsor at Fanatics. And they currently have your team's official NFL draft hat for the 2024 season. So if you want to own a piece of NFL draft history for your favorite team today, go to chatsports.com/NFL draft hats right now. They got a selection of all 32 NFL teams. They got the curved bill if that's your style. They got the flat bills if that's your style. All 32 teams. I really like the design of this year's hats, guys. Very blue-collar-esque, perfect for the host city, Detroit, this year. So you can go chatsports.com/NFL draft hats to wear the same exact hat your favorite teams, prospects this year are going to be wearing Thursday night. Again, chatsports.com/NFL draft hats. Another tidbit from Adam Schefter here in terms of his intel says that the Philadelphia Eagles are looking to trade up from number 22 overall in this year's draft, namely for a cornerback. Now, what I will say about Howie Roseman and the Eagles, they usually don't go perimeter players in round one unless they have multiple first-round picks. Usually, if they only have one first-rounder, they take a trench player either on the offensive or defensive line. So, listen, I'm not too sure if the guy they trade up for would be a corner, even though it's no doubt they need cornerback help. Now, there's definitely a lot of good corners in this year's class, and I don't necessarily think they need to trade up to get one. But if they have one in particular that they have a really they have a really good preference for, I could certainly see Howie Roseman, an extremely aggressive GM, move up for a player, whether that be a corner, whether that be a trench player, I don't know, but I do think the Eagles will be in play to move up. Then we'll go to Kansas City here, where apparently they're looking at wide receivers, and this is obvious, guys, right? They Rashee Rice situation, they get Marquise Hollywood Brown, who's more of your true deep threat, but maybe they need more of a true number one guy, dominant guy, like that guy that can win in the intermediate and the long routes and short yard after the catch type of guy. Ladd McConkey out of Georgia, somebody that's been connected to them. Maybe Xavier Legette out of South Carolina will still be available. Adonai Mitchell out of Texas might still be there. So they're going to have some options at wide receiver, but I would say also look out for offensive tackle. They don't have a left tackle right now. So if there's one available, like a Jordan Morgan out of Arizona, for example, sitting there at pick number 32, it wouldn't shock me at all for Kansas City to take them there. And it actually wouldn't surprise me if Kansas City moved up for an offensive tackle if one of their favorites falls in round one. Now, for more NFL draft content from me, NFL draft analyst here at Chat Sports, Jack Sperry, on social media, you can go to @Jack_Sperry on X and @SpareDog.football on Instagram. I am dropping my final NFL mock draft Thursday morning. So if you want my final mock, you can go to @Jack_Sperry on X or @SpareDog.football on IG. Then the final two kind of tidbits here that I thought was interesting in today's article from Schefter was that Byron Murphy out of Texas, defensive tackle, he said could be the first defender off the board. Now, he didn't specify to which team necessarily, but Murphy is definitely a dominant interior pass rusher in this class. Good run defender as well. I think he's going to be a day one impact for whoever drafts him. So I think he's worthy of a top 10 pick. Absolutely. Watch out for definitely Chicago, who we all know Matt Eberflus loves his interior pass rushers. So Murphy is definitely somebody that could go to Chicago at number 9. So watch out for Murphy to be a top 15 pick. And then another Texas player, Jonathan Brooks, is expected to be the first running back off the board. Listen, man, I like Brooks. My comp for him is Melvin Gordon, who was a very productive running back in this league for a long time. But I really like Trey Benson out of Florida State. He's my number one guy. He reminds me a lot of Jonathan Taylor when he was coming out of Wisconsin a few years back. So no problems, no qualms with Jonathan Brooks. He's going to be a great player. But first one off the board, I'm not too sure about that. Now, make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already, because even though we are done with our Adam Schefter draft intel today, we are going to be having a bunch, hours-long live coverage of the NFL draft over the weekend, all right? So every single pick is going to be covered by me and Tom Downey this weekend. Can't wait to share that with you guys. It's going to be such a fantastic weekend breaking down all the picks this weekend. Can't wait to share with you guys. Make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn on your notifications so you know whenever we go live on day 1, day 2, or day 3 of the 2024 NFL Draft. And until next time, have a good one, folks.